Hello there, everybody. It's Monday Maple Musings, the Triple M, the Microwave, where we take a look at the MapleStory subreddit over the last week, and we just kind of hang out and see what people have been posting and been talking about. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, stick around, and if not, no worries, man. The internet is a big old place. You gotta be doing stuff that you're gonna be enjoying and bringing happiness to your life, you know what I'm saying? Happy New Year's, of course, to everyone. I think this is the last video I'm going to say Happy New Year's in. Well, no, I guess Topical Tuesday tomorrow I'll say it in as well, but hey. What do we got? Ooh, alright, the GMS post 2-minute conversion sheet. It's pre-ascent skills and stuff, but I always like seeing these, like, data sheets. I like data. I don't know if you figured this out. I'm a very big data head. No free smegas equal dead game. I remember this post, too. I don't necessarily agree with the title, but it's just a funny title. And also, if you're from Kronos, over the last couple days, there has been this lovely gentleman who we can only describe as hunted. And he has been, let's just say he's MVP red from smegas alone. Oh, I'm sure he's already charged back. I haven't seen him smega in a while. God rest his soul. What else do we got here? Libbed on New Year's, summon Inkwell node. Alright, let's stick here. Let's start here. And of course, if you're sticking around at this point, make sure you do engagement stuff. Like the video, dislike, whatever it may be. Subscribe if you haven't. Bigger number, better person. And hopefully you guys have been having a good New Year. I mean, we're 4 or 5 days in, I guess, when I upload this. Listen. You better have a good New Year or else. GMS post 2-minute, 83k hexa converted results. Here we go again. We started the data collection over 2 months ago. The results are finally ready to share publicly. Link to the sheet. We're going to open the sheet as well, of course. Those of you who closely follow KMS and KMS analysis results will notice for some classes the results are very different from Maple Scouter. Their Maple Scouter RT 80k thing can be explained by a few following reasons. Their 83k challenge was not meant as an analytical data collection, but was instead a competition to see who could gain the best results within a class and the best results across classes. As a result, the classes that heavily depend on cooldown skip had inflated final results, especially because the KMS community used the highest individual result for each class dummy and bossing tests. While there were some high-level rules set by the KMS challenge overall and also on class-specific basis, for several classes, we saw significantly inflated numbers that were unrealistic and not representative for those classes. There was also a competition for financial rewards, and so some people tried their best to game the Scouter conversion system to produce the highest result rather than trying to use the system as intended. Conversely, this GMS data collection generally took the average result of multiple trials per test conditions deemed acceptably executed by myself and the tester. GMS also has very different class balance from KMS due to things like attack speed 10, longer average server extensions, and higher average ping, which affect class performance in a way that using KMS data as a base case cannot accurately model. Lastly, the KMS results were from an earlier patch. Generally, GMS receives all of the KMS balance changes that get implemented over 2 to 3 patches in Korea in a single patch. For example, the dummy nerfs to Wind Archer and Dual Blade occurred after the KMS results were published, but were packaged in the same patch in GMS as the overall 2-minute normalization changes. So those are some good ground rules. Submission rules for the GMS data collection were as follows. It's a level 1 dummy, 380 defense, large boss dummy with reduction mimicking +5 advantage on a boss. 1 origin rotation, battle analysis submission, realistic bossing rotation for the dummy tests. Fatal and lethal were permitted, no other special nodes were allowed. Level 5 Oz rings were allowed. RT4 only allowed by classes with burst iframes, dummy touch damage, cancels RT4, risk taker, if you guys don't know what RT4 is. Risk taker is a very strong ring, but it disappears if you take any damage at all. 1 will / Saren skill. No special soul skills such as Ephenia or Mugong. No raw rings. No ring swap skills. We received this change essentially unannounced in the middle of the data collection, and it wouldn't have been fair to the testers to have them resubmit everything as a result. I think that's fine. And then no ascents, because ascents weren't out when the bulk of this data collection was performed. Hexa converted was calculated using the highest possible converted Highest possible converted out of either Cont 5, Roar 5, Weapon Jump 4, or Roar 5, Totaling 4 Oz rings on Maple Scouter to prevent mathematical inflation in cases where the Oz ring combo gives a lower converted but results in a higher battle analysis. Normalization to 83k hexa conversion was also done via Maple Scouter using the additional spec simulation and growth graph features. Two important things to note: special conditions for TMS classes Lin and Mo Xuan. Mo Xuan has had a bug for months. Basically, Swirling Tide had no cooldown. It was OP as fuck. Lin, since the change to Awaken in May, where Awaken had a dual effect, one on the focal target and the other on Lin via Resonant Awaken, is able to use party-forming exploits to receive the party version of itself Awaken 60% final damage for solo content, such as Culvert, Champ missions, Destiny missions, etc. Has been validated by multiple endgame Lins across multiple patches, including the most recent patch with the new boss prep rooms. This cannot be done by accident and requires a series of intentional actions to set up and abuse this exploit. So yeah, basically Lins, if you know the exploit, you can get the 60 FD on yourself, which is interesting. And then, of course, big thank you to everyone who submitted data. That's a lot of people, and this is a lot of effort to go through, for sure, over a bunch of different classes. And I always like seeing like community efforts like this because it's really cool. And of course, you'll always say charts are not like the end-all be-all, and I completely agree with you, but I always think seeing data and having data and access to data like this is never a bad thing. Having access to information, I think, is always going to be better than not, right? But unsurprising, number 1 with the bugged FD is Lin. Number 13 without the bugged FD is Lin. That's very strong even still. But 0, still up there. Paladin linked, I don't know. You have to have another person to link yourself, so I don't know if that's necessarily a fair comparison. But I mean, I still think it's interesting data to have, so I fuck with it being here. If it's not here, where's Paladin? I assume Paladin is pretty low without their linker. I can't even find it. Did they run Paladin no link? Yeah, they did here. 27. Damn, that's actually higher than I thought without link. Paladin link only adds like 100 T. I thought it would have added like a third. See, this is why I like data, because you get to learn stuff like this. I think this is really cool. Anyways, I will post the sheet in the description if you guys want to take a look at this sheet yourself. Again, this is not exactly the same patch that we're on, right? Because there's no Ascent skills, but this is the most up-to-date GMS representative sheet that exists right now. And I think it's very cool. Blaze Wizard being at the very bottom, Mechanic being like just above it. Some things never change, man. Wild Hunter on the move up, though. That's good for Wild Hunter, for sure. Of course, Nightwalker, like, slightly above mid. I'm gonna miss Nightwalker when we get the Shadow Spear cap and get, like, Giga nerfed. Man, Nightwalker is gonna take the fucking place of, like, fucking Wild Hunter, man. It's gonna be so sad. I mean, I don't know if it'll be that bad, but it's not gonna be good. Ren being, like, pretty much right in the middle. I mean, it's like slightly below, right? Because there's 54 and it's 29, so it's like mid-lower, but I mean, it does more than a solo bishop, which you can't say for some classes in the game, right? Like, all of these classes do less than a bishop. So Ren's doing more than a bishop, so I mean, that's a good baseline to be. Honestly, every class, like, bishop should be the bottom and every other class should be above it. But I've always been saying that. Anyways, I won't spend too much more time on that. I will put it in the description, though, and I think it's super, super, super cool. Holy shit, my class sucks ass. I always love seeing the revelations, too. Oh, man. Feels bad, man. No free smegas equal dead game. Nexon seriously needs to roll back the smega changes. Our server, European Heroic, is pretty dead without them. Difficult to set up MPE, more difficult to find boss parties. We should need to go to a third-party unofficial Discord server to find people. What a seriously dumb idea to get rid of free smegas. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the game can do with having the free MVP smegas or whatever every month. But I also don't think it's like the end of the world. You know? I mean, maybe I'll get crucified for saying that, but I think overall I would rather have the smegas in the game, but I don't see it as like a massive deal either way. And then if you're on Chronos, you'll know over the last couple days Hunted was going crazy with his MVP Red's worth of smegas, and it's like that's what the majority of smegas were. Didn't really add anything, and it was just kind of annoying, but it was also kind of funny. I don't know. Use Party Finder. Yeah, that's also another thing, because you can use Party Finder. Like, Party Finder OP, man. You don't have to go to Discord. No one on EU uses it because they keep being told not to use it. Really? People just don't use it in EU? People use that shit all the time on fucking, at least on Chronos. I assume they use it on Challenger World, too. Hard agree, game feels dead nowadays. Even if it was really full of people in a Chronos CW, other than occasional attention-seeking people, like the weirdo spamming before DMT on Chronos. Oh, you mean Hunted? You barely see anything anymore. Smegas made the game feel alive with all the commentary and everything. Global chat really do make a difference for MMORPGs. See, I honestly don't think they need to bring Smegas back. They just need to add like a global chat channel. That's what they need to do. That way you can join and turn it off as you wish, and it would just kind of be chill. I definitely need a global chat channel. I think Smegas are just old and outdated, truthfully. Libbed on New Year. Congratulations, my friend. Genesis Soul Shooter. You do not look like an angelic buster, but I love the moonbeam on your head. Very cute. That IGN. What is this IGN? X MapleStar X. Bro's just gaming. What do you... Leave him alone. He's just gaming. Summon Inkwell note. We've added the following familiar lines. Outlines your character in blue, outlines your character in yellow, outlines your character in pink, outlines your character in brown. That'd be fucking sick, dude. Are we expecting another patch this reset? Probably only the monthly Windows update. Fucking too real. Soul Urta fragments transferable with an account. I'm of the opinion that this is what they're going to end up doing whenever they decide it's time to make 6th job more accessible. I don't think we're going to get it for quite some time, though. As far as an Inkwell note, I don't know. We might see one, but I also think it's probably reasonable to not expect one for a bit. I do think he probably should talk about some of the concerns going forward outside of like just like the Maple memo that they did for the operate on the boxes and stuff, but I don't know. It's not... That's the problem with like super heavy notes from like developers and shit. It's much harder to have a developer or like somebody who's like in charge of shit be able to just kind of write up a letter and be like, hey, here, this is stuff that I wanted to say on like a whim. And I mean, that's why you don't see it really that much from like CMs, and CMs kind of keep quiet these days, especially on Reddit. I mean, that's why nobody from Nexon visibly interacts with Reddit, right? I don't know. It sucks that this is where we're at. But, we'll see if we get an Inkwell note. I think I would expect an Inkwell note somewhere between the months of February and March. Don't think we're going to get one in January, but I'm definitely open to being surprised. Anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I don't want to take up too much of your time this week. It was just kind of a funny, chill week. Like the video if you like it, of course. Subscribe. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your day / evening, and a happy new year. Thank you to my YouTube members. It's Biscuits and Your Diz. Remix My Life. Love all you guys very, very much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!